Hi, my name is Selim.Digital, and this is my second update on the Tabula Rasa filming. This has been a really important week. A lot has gotten accomplished, and I wanted to share some of that with you. So the biggest news is that my director has finished the shooting script. So how he's going to break down all of the scenes, what days he's going to film what, all of those details are set, which means that we have a real tight plan to maximize our use of the 5 days that we have planned for shooting. That's really important because we've got a lot to cover. 40 pages is approximately the length of the script, and that's actually a lot to cover in a short amount of time. But I'm confident that that can happen because A, I have an excellent director, and B, we have a real tight plan for making all of that happen. Another big development is I've purchased all of the tickets for myself and for the actors to go down to Florida. So it is official. We are going August 10th. The tickets are they're not important for the development of the script or for the development of the movie in the sense that, this is going to happen. What really matters about that is it's like you're really making it in your head official. Like, okay, we've got people physically going down there on this day. We've got these 1 o'clock tickets and we'll get to Tampa at about 4 o'clock. From an emotional standpoint, that was a big move for me because that made it real in a way that all of this other stuff has not quite made it as real for me. And then third, I've hired a caterer to cook for us to make lunch and dinner on the set for the week. One of the things that Alberto, the director, had told me, he said, look, if you're going to spend your money, the 3 best places that you can spend it are in getting the best sound and lighting that you can get. But then third most important is getting the best food that you can offer your team. Because no matter how good your actors and film crew are, if they're hungry and if they're cranky, they're not going to produce something good. So getting a really awesome caterer is going to be a way of enhancing the experience, but it's also a way for me to thank everybody for doing this. Everyone's working really, really hard, and frankly, I am not able to pay them in ways that they actually deserve. I can't afford to pay them what they deserve, but I can at least show my gratitude to each and every one of them by being able to make this whole experience as comfortable and enjoyable as possible. So that's really important to me, and I'm thrilled that I can actually be able to offer nutritious and delicious food for everybody. There's been a lot of real interesting lessons in this whole process of making this film. Filming is something where things are moving at a snail's pace until they're not, and then they're moving at lightning speed. It's been 2 years, really, since I began talking with Alex and Alberto about making this movie. And so there have been times where we just really didn't talk because there wasn't anything to develop, especially after the SAG strike. There was no way to make any real headwind on moving the project forward. So honestly, there was a moment where I thought, oh man, another summer's going to go by and then this is not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, I send out an email and say, okay, here's the dates, we've got it set, and now everything is moving at lightning pace. I am amazed at how fast we've gotten a team together. We've got about 20 people total working on this project, and people are working. I'm constantly being asked questions to make decisions on issues around costumes and around song choices and things like that. So going from a year of absolutely nothing to 4 weeks of everyday meetings and questions is unnerving but incredibly exciting. And honestly, I think that that's probably the most important lesson. Like, probably the most important lesson that I'm sort of absorbing or trying to absorb right now is that there's a lot here that I can't control, and I have to be okay with that. But there is a tremendous amount that is within my collective control. I have written the best script that I am capable of delivering. I mean, yes, I can always go and tweak and change a word here and change a word there, but I've written the best concept and dialogue that I can write that has covered as many of the potential holes in the plot that I can anticipate. So the script is as tight as I know how to make it. I've got the best team that I know that I can get. I've got a phenomenal director. I've got an awesome director of photography and producer down in Florida who's been making life possible because there's so much down there that I have no control over at the moment. I've got a phenomenal assistant director. I can't wait to introduce you to all of these amazing people. And I've got a great acting cast, people who have really enjoyed this and have already been sitting with the characters for over a year in their head. So with a tight script, a great team, really well planned out shots, a location that we have total control over, which is really a game changer for so many people. Most of the time, if you're shooting and you don't have control over the location, then so many variables come into play. We've managed to control most of those variables because I have control of the location. And finally, I've even though this is a 5-day shoot, I've padded an extra day. Hopefully that is enough to take care of whatever variables will inevitably come our way. So I think we have done a really good job of reducing the risk from all of the variables that we know will inevitably hit us. And then everything else, Florida storms, power outages, all of that is beyond our control. I mean, yes, if we were filming somewhere else, that would not be happening, but the cost to filming this in New York wouldn't even compare. This film will look incredibly higher budget than it actually is because we have the control of the location and because we've got such an excellent team down there. So you deal with risk as best as you can. You mitigate your risk, and then you just go for it and do the best you can. I think that's honestly a great life lesson for anyone who is attempting to create something. So I am really excited to be able to continue to share updates. I'm hoping that I can interview the actors and the directors and the film crew. If not before we go down there, then definitely while we're down there. I probably will wind up posting more of these during that time and right after, so that there's something to kind of keep you engaged and excited for when this movie actually inevitably does release. I don't know when that would be. I have a hope of being able to release it and share it with everyone in December 2024 or January 2025, but that's the hope. I'm not ready for post-production. That's future me's problem, honestly.